Shapiro video called J.K. Rowling Humiliates Emma Watson. I guess because they disagree, that's humiliating. Having a disagreement with Joanne equals humiliation. I don't understand. Maybe it's because Ben is projecting a little bit. Like he feels humiliated when someone disagrees with him.
Emma is rightly free to disagree with me, and indeed to discuss her feelings about me in public, but I have the same right, and I finally decided to exercise it. J.K. Rowling, man, that lady is a fireball. Alrighty, meanwhile,
That lady is a fireball. That's one way to put it.
Kimmel is coming back to Nexstar and Sinclair's ABC stations. You'll recall that Nexstar and Sinclair had both issued letters to ABC.
Why is he talking about that? Did he name drop J.K. Rowling so he could talk about Jimmy fucking Kimmel? Why is he immediately... Every time I trust a Ben Shapiro video, we click on it, this happens. I'm sure he'll get back into it, but what the fuck?
They no longer wanted to carry Jimmy Kimmel. He was suspended for a
few
days. Then he was back on the air, got some pretty good ratings that first night because controversy helps ratings. There's no more obvious truism in television or on the internet than that simple fact is that controversy sells. Well, now
controversy sells. Here's why I put J.K. Rowling's name and Emma Watson's name in the fucking title and didn't bring it up, actually.
And Nexstar will resume broadcasting Jimmy Kimmel Live on their ABC affiliate stations on Friday night.
Why is he filming in a hotel room? I don't know. That is weird.
Ending their boycott that began more than a week ago. Sinclair said our objective throughout this process has been...
He's moving locations. The Daily Wire is hemorrhaging money and slowly failing, so him and Matt Walsh have begun to look more and more stressed. It's been pretty funny.
To ensure that programming remains accurate and engaging for the widest possible audience, we take seriously our responsibility as local broadcasters to provide programming that serves the interests of our communities while also honoring our obligations to air national network programming. Now, what changed? I mean, presumably, Kimmel did a sort of half-hearted apology, kind of, sort of.
Didn't know we were going to do some Kimmel on this. Really didn't know. This is what I get. This guy, man. How many times, him and Matt Walsh, how many times do we click on videos of his and it's something else entirely?
Nexstar said, quote, we stand apart from cable television, monolithic streaming services, and national networks in our commitment and obligation to be stewards of the public airwaves and to protect and reflect the specific sensibilities of our communities. To be clear, our commitment to those principles has guided our decisions throughout this process. So, yeah, them coming back, it's going to be unclear. To me, obviously, that undermines the case that these networks decided to not air Jimmy Kimmel because they just didn't like Jimmy Kimmel, that maybe the FCC's Brendan Carr saying things had something to do with it.
Cold.
Bottom line, however, is that Jimmy Kimmel back on the air doing his usual terrible job. All of this would have been a lot easier if the FCC's Brendan Carr had not gotten involved in the first place. That would have been a lot easier, a lot simpler, because then if Nexstar and Sinclair just said, listen, he gets terrible ratings and our audience doesn't like him, they would have canceled him wholesale, as opposed to the controversy that arose from the muddying of the waters. Okay, meanwhile, Emma Watson.
Thank you. 2 minutes in. So it looks like they needed that 2 minutes to pad for the mid-roll. Pretty cynical stuff going on around here. The grift can never fucking stop. They have to make content, okay? I wish right-wingers would pay attention to this, right? Like, these guys have to make content. That's their job. And under capitalism, we can't make things efficiently. We have to constantly churn something out so that there's some reason we can get paid so that we can pay our bills or feel validated and whatever. You know what I mean? They hinge so much of their personality on making profit that they just have to, he just has to put out a video that gets just over, I think the limit is back down to like 6 minutes for YouTube or something.
Lately has been going after J.K. Rowling, the creator of Harry Potter. She's been going after J.K. Rowling because J.K. Rowling has the evil record of saying that men are not women. And
I don't think any trans people are saying that men and women are the same thing either. J.K. Rowling is just obsessed with people's genitals. If you're not for trans rights, you're not for the freedom of expression. And if you're not for the freedom of expression, then you're not for freedom of speech. And you are for the government telling you how to live your life. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous to tell someone that they cannot express themselves in a way that feels true to themselves. Even if I wouldn't do it myself. Are you serious? It's a ridiculous standard to set, and it could easily turn around and be used against Christians and against Jews and against Muslims. And you could just say, hey, you can't wear yarmulkes. We don't trust people that wear yarmulkes. Can you believe that? Well, we don't trust people. We don't trust people that go to fucking temple. We don't trust people that go to, church. You probably shouldn't trust white Christian men, frankly. But
This is bad.
statistically speaking.
So finally, Rowling has decided to strike back. Emma Watson had said just recently in a new interview that she was upset. She said that no one is disposable. Quote, there is no world in which I could ever cancel that out or anything, she said regarding her past professional relationship with J.K. Rowling. It has to remain true. It is true. And then she said she's grateful for the memories she has with Rowling. She said, I can love her. I can know she loved me. I can be grateful to her. I can know the things she said are true. And there can be this whole other thing. My job just feels like holding all of it. But the bigger thing is what she's done will never be taken away from me.
Mark Dice doesn't have better points than Ben Shapiro on anything. Like maybe Israel. I don't know. I agree that genocide is bad. I don't think that Mark Dice is for genocide, just not of this because he's anti-Semitic. You know what I mean? He doesn't have the right answer on that. He's also racist toward fucking Arab people and black people and Mexican people. And he doesn't care about the genocide of natives. Doesn't care about the genocide anywhere else. Yeah. So why are you pretending, man? Like why go to bat for Mark Dice? God, your brain is just fucking addled. Well, it's okay. I'll help you out. This guy you believe in demons, man. Shut up. Shut up for a little bit. Just listen to a secular atheist point of view and actually try to synthesize my point of view for a while. Try to synthesize my point of view for a while instead of thinking about Mark Dice, okay? And then we'll talk, okay?
So apparently, Emma Watson then got some blowback for these sorts of comments, and then she reversed herself and said that J.K. Rowling actually is a treasure. So she's kind of going back and forth based on where the power dynamics are.
I really don't believe that by having had that experience and holding the love and support and views that I have mean that I can't and don't treasure Joe and the person that I had personal experiences with. I will never believe that one negates the other.
Okay, so she's kind of on some lib shit, but I mean, I don't really hate what she said. I don't care. Some people are able to be like, look, I had a good time with this person, even though she's a transphobe. And it's like she's with all her chest in support of trans people, so I can understand why on a professional level she'd be like, I don't really, want to say hateful shit about Joanne, but I fucking do. Joanne's a piece of shit, dude. J.K. Rowling is a dog shit person. She is using her wealth to wield it over trans people, and it's bad. And I think that my criticism of Emma Watson here is just that she doesn't have more fervor and solidarity with trans people on that, but she doesn't have to, at the same breath, I mean, she does not have to feel my disdain for Joanne because I know her less. And when she was a kid, when Emma was a kid, Joanne was probably nice to her. And so that's the memory she has of someone who was nice but is now a piece of shit. And so she feels bad, but
The other.
Folks, you've heard me talk about Cove Pure before, and for good...
Great. Oh, so we could run the paid ad as well. That's so cool. In the break room. Is that literally 2 minutes of the video just fucking gone? Super dope.
So what do you about all of this? And so she slammed Emma Watson, quote, like other people who have never experienced adult life uncushioned by wealth and fame, Emma has so little experience of real life, she's ignorant of how ignorant she is.
So you hear the difference immediately. So Emma Watson didn't even say anything mean in that clip. She literally just took her time to say, look, my memory of her was nice. I still support trans people. Essentially, right?
I wasn't a multimillionaire at 14. I lived in poverty while writing the book that made Emma famous.
Wow. It's got to be about her. I wrote the book that made Emma famous. Right, chat. If I ever make it big, you will never hear me fucking talk like this. This is disgusting. What a bag of shit. Holy fucking shit.
I therefore understand from my own life experience what the trashing of women's rights in which Emma has so enthusiastically participated means to women and girls without her privileges. Now, again, that is because Emma Watson has spent a fairly long time going after J.K. Rowling. Daniel Radcliffe did the same. Rowling...
These are the same guys that'll tell you Charlie Kirk was just like a normal guy that didn't do nothing wrong. And so, why should he even be, he was an active political participant at the highest levels of government. But, it's somehow more egregious that he died than, a CEO or something. I don't know. Or kids. How about that? So weird. So Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson support trans people. with their freedom of speech, of course, that he cares about a lot, big time. Even though he's a fucking supporter of Israel, which, let's be real about their views on free speech. J.K. Rowling does everything she can with all of her power to shut everybody up and to shit on trans people. And listen to how she talks about Emma Watson, who was relatively nice in that.
Said that all of
Disgusting.
those attacks on her led to, quote, death, rape, and torture threats at the time.
Dude, they're just so, like, cucked when it comes to people who give them money. They're like, oh my God, she gave you money? Well, you can't say bad things about the lady that gave you money. It's like, fuck off.
She said the greatest
Have a
irony
spine.
here is that had Emma not decided in her most recent interview to declare that she loves and treasures me, a change of tack I suspect she's adopted because she's noticed full-throated condemnation of me is no longer quite as fashionable as it was. I may never have been this honest. Adults can't expect to cozy up to an activist movement that regularly calls for a friend's assassination, then assert their right to the former friend's love as though the friend was in fact their mother.
Joanne is essentially saying, like, you were just child actors. I did not care about you. But she has to say it in a way that frames herself as the victim of the interaction, of course.
Emma is rightly free to disagree with me, and indeed to discuss her feelings about me in public, but I have the same right, and I finally decided to exercise it. Well, J.K. Rowling, man, that lady is a fireball, and
Dude, all she did was come across as a fucking asshole. And that was the most milquetoast, nice thing Emma Watson could have said, and now it's just J.K. Rowling is just fucking on the warpath. She's so mad. I don't feel like Emma Watson should feel humiliated about this. I feel like Joanne should feel humiliation about her continued behavior.
I will say that
Just obsessed over trans people. Simple freedom of speech.
it sounds kind of like she wouldn't make a terrible prime minister of Great Britain. Like, at a certain point, since
Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, make all the celebrities prime minister.
she seems to be on the reasonable side of some of these issues,
That'd be hilarious, by the way. She would get exposed so quickly as a piece of shit. She would just get destroyed by that process.
it seems like, you know,
She cannot handle criticism. It would rip her apart.
could she go into politics? Wouldn't be the biggest shock in the entire world. Meanwhile, speaking of the movies, President Trump is now threatening a 100% tariff on foreign-made movies.
Oh, so now it really was clickbait. It wasn't even, it was bookended with 2 minutes on either end of it with different stories, and in the middle there was a 2-minute ad. Holy fucking shit. This is no wonder the Daily Wire is in shambles. Look at this, is their content. This is ridiculous. They are pay-gating everything. They are subsisting on the Daily Wire Plus subscription specifically. Good God.
Saying that the film business has been stolen from the U.S. That's not actually true. The reason that movies moved abroad is because Hollywood made it too expensive. The unions made it really expensive to film in California.
The unions made it expensive to film in California. This guy hates the unions because they don't fucking accept him in their ranks because he is a failed actor, producer, writer, director in Hollywood, so he's got a fucking bone to pick. He's pivoted into the Daily Wire shit where everybody still fucking hates him, but now he can make some money off the grift, and this is where it's at. The union. Fuck off. They have high standards and demand that things work a certain way during the process of making a film that they don't make most of the fucking profit off of. Like, eat shit.
This has been going on for decades. Film production moved up to Vancouver, or it moved within the United States to states that gave tax benefits. A lot of production has moved overseas. That is because of the outsized union SAG-AFTRA rules that have really made it quite expensive to film in the United States. It's unclear exactly how this would work. According to Axios, it's not clear when or how the tariff would be levied, and whether the burden would be on the producers, distributors, or somewhere in between. Because what if the movie is paid for by American money, but then part of it is made in Europe because, let's say, it, is about Europe, and part of it's made in the United States? Like, how exactly do you apply that tariff?
Great question, because the United States government is run by fucking idiots. All right, we don't need the rest of this. I've had plenty. Plenty of Ben Shapiro for the day, who literally just clickbaited us into fucking smithereens. Totally fucking pointless. What a grifter, man.